Transformation family, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in to Transform. So guess who the special speaker is? Me. I was asked to do an episode on myself, of my life. So I'm taking it on. I got 7 questions here that I'm gonna go over, and I hope it ring a bell to somebody or it inspires somebody. Because this one right here, this is meaty. So this is needed. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking, and thank you, for the ones that haven't liked and haven't subscribed, that just in the line, in the dark, I'm talking about those ones, but I thank everybody. So let's get into it. The first question: what keeps me going on a day-to-day basis? What keeps me going is not proving. I had to learn this a long time ago. I love wristbands, right? I don't have one on today, but what keeps me going on a day-to-day basis is when I got hit in the face with a Remy bottle and I died. I died for 10 minutes. And when I died, him upstairs, God, said to me, not yet. So what keeps me going is me knowing that when he sent me back down, because I was ready, I'm talking about, I was ready to go, but he said, not yet. So what keeps me going on a day-to-day basis? It's a know that I got some unfinished business. You know what I mean? I got some things I need to do for him, not for me, but for him. Who has inspired me to be who I am today? My gosh. Whew, that's a hard one. It's a lot of men in my life has inspired me. And a lot of women too. Even some of them that's not living no more. I think my mom, she inspired me, cause she raised 5 knuckleheads. Who else inspired me? My pastor, Pastor Stevan Pineda. He inspired me because he gave me inspiration when he took on the church of Victory Outreach, Heart of the Bay. He took on his dad's legacy. That's it, man. If that don't inspire you to do better, man, I don't know what it is. What else inspired me, or who has inspired me, is a lot of people in my life. I can say a couple people names, but everybody have a certain way of inspiring me to be who I am today. What was the turning point from who you are to where you are today? Transform. I think he's talking about transform. The turning point, what made me do transform, was when I lost 4 of my loved ones from November to January. That was the turning point for me, because it was either I make it or I just give up. That was one of my turning points. But also before then, my turning point was when I came to Victory Outreach, when I came to the recovery home at the time. That was a turning point for me because I was homeless. I was living in the streets. I was selling drugs. I was doing my dirt. You know what I mean? That was a turning point. And I think it was January 7th, 2001. I came to Victory Outreach Recovery Home. And that was just the beginning of my turning point. But to who I am today, I think my turning point, who I am today, is today Derek is not a quitter. Derek is a guy that will put his best foot forward. Derek is a guy that has the mindset of not giving up, because so many people gave up on me. I don't know if y'all know, but a lot of people don't know that my mom gave me up to the courts at 16, sorry. And at 17, I became my nickname. But that was part of the turning point on January. My God, January 2nd. I want to cry right now because this man named Chuck Klein, he used to stand outside of 83rd and Bancroft, Deep East Oakland, and he had a recovery home. He was a director, and he used to stand outside, and the guys knew this, that he used to pray and say, Lord, get somebody from these streets. And lo and behold, he was really praying for me. And I thank God for Chuck. Yes, he's gone. He's passed away. But that was a turning point in my life when I went into the men's home and my sock was stuck to my feet. I was homeless, like I said, and I had to stop. That was a turning point. That was one of the turning points. What challenges do you face when it comes to mental health? Whee! The challenges I face when it comes to mental health is mental health for me. I can't speak for everyone, but mental health for me is casting down false imaginations. I try to commit suicide because of the voices that I heard. When I was homeless and living out on the street, I tried to kill myself. I didn't care. I drank a half bottle of dishwashing liquid. I slit my wrists. I gave myself a tattoo on my arm. I did Russian roulette, that old school Russian roulette. You put one in the chamber, I'm talking about. You got the 6-shooter. You just put one bullet in and you just spin it and then you pull the trigger. I tried, but I didn't succeed, of course. But the challenges I face when it comes to mental health is, am I worthy enough? Am I strong enough? Am I reaching anyone? That's always a struggle for me. So that's what I face. What did you go through? What did you experience in your life that was traumatic? The trauma, right? I experienced a lot of things in my life. I think one of the things I'd experienced in my life that I should have got a hold was when I was taking on my last ride. I used to sell drugs before I went, because dope game is like a roller coaster. And I was at my bottom. And a guy took me to the Oakland Hills and he was like, D Blood, I'm not going to say my nickname, but he was like, D Blood, sorry to do this, but you got to go. And I'm like, what? What do you mean I have to go? He said, man, you got to go. So the dude in the back seat pulled out a shotgun and he pulled the trigger twice. And the gun didn't go off. As we know about shotguns, they go off. You know what I'm talking about? They go bang. So it didn't go off. And he just hit me in the back of the head with the shotgun, with the nip of the shotgun. But that was one thing I faced in my life that really, really should have been my trend. Like, that was traumatic. Like, that was trauma. You know what I'm talking about? I think another one when my brother got shot, because I idolized my brother because my dad died when I was 6 and he was the closest thing to me. He still is. He's still living. He got shot in his head. And when he got shot, my whole world got shooken. I was young then, and that happened. And I recall us being at Highland Hospital, and they were saying that he's going to die. And I went to the chapel at Highland Hospital and I prayed. I learned from him to do the little cross thing. But I didn't know God then, but I knew of him. And I prayed to him and he made it out. Now he's a father of two children. They ain't kids though. They grown-ups, you know what I mean? He's a grandpa. So yeah, those two was like the major ones for my life. What type of support do you feel is necessary for men, or women, since if they have a struggle with opening up? What type of support do you feel is necessary? Okay. I know I had a hard time with opening up. I still do. I still have a hard time with opening up and telling people how I really feel. But the support to that is a person that can read you. If you don't have a person that can read you, that can really say, hey, what's up? What's going on? And you can't talk to them. You can't trust. Cause I used to have trust issues. My mom gave me up when I was 16 and I didn't trust women. I didn't trust men. I didn't trust no one. I didn't even trust myself. And I had no support at the time. But when I finally realized that this person wasn't here to hurt me, but to help me, that's when it was time to man up. You know what I mean? Take on the support. I still have a sometimes struggle with opening up. I do. It's a steady working in progress. I call it I'm under construction. I'm constantly under construction, tell you the truth. Do you feel growing up without a father figure make a big difference? Yeah. Like I said, my dad died when I was 6, and from him passing away, I never got a chance to meet him. And then my brother gets shot, who I looked at as my father figure. And lo and behold, later on, the street became my father figure. I start adapting to the streets. You know what I mean? I start selling drugs. I start robbing folks. I stop caring. I start becoming Pretty Eye Bandit. I start becoming the other nickname Dino. I start taking on names, and I start doing things that I didn't know what to do. But not having a father figure is a big difference. I think I can only speak for men. I can't speak for women because I'm not a woman. But I know for me as a man, it's kind of difficult, man. It's kind of hard when you are yearning for that father because of what you see on TV. Like, I used to see the Crosby Show, right? I used to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Uncle Phil. You know what I mean? I used to watch other TV shows back in the days, and they all had a father, like Wonder Years. Dang, I'm telling him how old I am. Dang, that's like old. But I watched on Family Matters, all these TV shows, and I seen how the fathers was. And then when it came time for me to be a father, I had no clue. So it does make a big difference. I know there's more questions, but in the process of this podcast, it's another question that I want to address. The question for myself is, when do Derek, how can I put this? Let me just come up. When do Derek feels that he's enough? Sometimes I don't feel like I'm enough. I'm good enough. Or that I feel that I can do more. Be quite honest, you can always do more. But I know for me, myself, Derek, I'm always striving to make the best me because I did so much dirt. I did so much bad things. I did so much. I did so many women wrong. I did so many people, guys wrong. I did so much stuff that I never felt like I was good enough. When my mom gave me up to the courts at 16 and she turned her back on me, and then on my 17th birthday, I'll never forget the day. I remember like it was yesterday on my birthday. She looked at me and went to the bus stop. And I was like, you made me, you created me, you carried me, but you just gonna walk past me? So I never felt like I was good enough. So whoever's out there not feeling like they're good enough, or the people that saying I want to throw in the towel, don't give up on life, because I tried. And matter of fact, I died. But God, didn't give up on me. So just like God never gave up on me, I won't give up on y'all. So let's do this, man. Transform. Stand up.